Welcome everyone. It's Alfie Dixon at Heavyweight News, and I'm joined with hard-hitting heavyweight from Ipswich, Fabio Wardley. Fabio, how are you, mate?
I'm good. I'm good. How's things, mate? How you doing?
Yeah, very good, buddy. Not bad at all. Obviously, a little bit strange at the moment with lockdown. How's
Yeah,
everything
definitely.
going with you? You know, training camp leading up to actually one of the biggest fights of your career in lockdown. How have you actually managed that? What's the sort of mentality that you've had to go in with to actually get ready for it?
Everything's been fine, to be fair. Like other than the obvious, it's all been pretty normal. Just business as usual. Just staying training, staying active, staying ready, just staying fit, keeping on top of everything. Really, just not letting the circumstance, obviously everything kind of get to you and take you away from your training and take you away from your focus. That's been the main thing, really. It's just been staying on top. Like when all of this happened and at the beginning of things and everyone was getting upset and disheartened and that, like we were just saying, like, look, this is I'm a professional boxer, like professional. I've got to be like professional about this. I've got to stay on my job. I've got to stay ready. I've got to stay. Just because there's all this going on doesn't mean we get to have 2-3 months off like everyone else. Like we
Of
get to
course,
chill.
yeah.
No, you have to stay on that game. And there's a lot of people that saw that as an opportunity just to go, whatever, forget it. I'll chill for a few months. And to me, all that says to me is I get to close the gap. Like where you're taking breaks and resting and chilling off, I'm staying training and I'm closing the gap on you. So that's how
Definitely.
we saw it, and that's what we use to stay focused.
And have you managed to actually get in the gym, Fabio? Have you managed to be in the gym and consistently crack on? Or have you had to kind of change your training regime to be a little bit more outside? And obviously you get your runs done and stuff. Um, you know,
Yeah, no, I've still been in the gym. I've still been staying in the gym. Nothing's really changed. There was a few weeks at the very beginning where I wasn't in the gym, but I was making up with everything at home. I had some equipment and stuff at home, and then for a couple of bits after that, me and my brother and stuff, we bought a bunch of like real heavy duty kind of training gear and stuff, and
yeah,
we built our own like kind of gym in a big garage that we have. So we had access to everything. We always had the bases covered, to be honest. Like everything was always, there was no point where I was without like a facility to train at or some bits to do really. So I was always on top of it. There was nothing really that I let get in the way. And ultimately everything you can do, even if it's minimal, like you can do running, skipping,
yeah,
shadow boxing, like all of them little bits you can do with just like a 2 meter square space. You don't need anything other than that, really. So there's a lot that you can get
yeah.
done even without having any equipment. So it's just about making do, really.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, what I was saying before as well is, you, like we say, you don't have that real sort of like solid amateur background. But what you did
Mm.
do is you work the fights that you did have. You really shocked people, and you were getting people away early. Um, Tell us a little bit about that, mate. What was the come up for you? What made you realize I've got something here? Professional boxing's the career I'm going for. Did you actually do anything before that you had a solid career in, or has it always been, fight sports and so forth?
No, it's completely different. When I first started out, I had an office job, your kind of standard like 9 to 5 job. I worked at an office in Ipswich where I'm from, and then I moved to a different company in London for a time. So I was just doing that normal kind of office lifestyle, and I'd always been athletic and into sports. I'd always been into football a lot. I played football like twice a week for a
Okay.
couple of different teams and stuff. So not at a particularly high level, just at a standard level, but I was still like I was playing regularly. I was like I'd go to the gym and stuff and just do normal bits of training and things. So I was always athletic in some instance, regardless. But I'd never been into a boxing gym before, and then some things went wrong with football where I got some injuries
Okay.
that just like I just couldn't play. Well, I could play, but it just was doing more harm than good to my body for me to play, and it just wasn't kind of worth it. It just wasn't adding up. So stopped playing football. But I miss kind of like that competitiveness, that challenge, that sport. I needed something. And boxing just filled that gap for me, really. I always say that I just kind of walked into the gym one day and
Yeah.
loved it and then just never left. Like that was it. I was done. I was back every night. I was there, always just training and stuff.
Become
So
an addiction to you, I suppose, doesn't it? And
yeah,
especially when you get that sparring in. You know, I've done a bit of sparring myself, and you do leave that gym with a massive adrenaline rush, especially if
Mm.
you've had a good day at the gym. You just want to get back in straight away. And I can imagine someone with your talent, you're having plenty of good days in the gym, so you want to carry on going, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, that was it. And like I just from that first spar, I loved it, and I loved seeing that improvement. Like, because don't get me wrong, when I first stepped into the gym, I was awful. I had no clue what I was doing, but it was nice to just see like week by week, month by month, them small little improvements. I'm getting better at this. I'm getting better at that. That works
Yeah.
now. I can do this now. Like just seeing myself slowly develop was good. I loved it, and then again, it just got me hooked, and I was in.
Yeah, mate, definitely. Well, I was recently watching your fight with Mariano Strooms, which I
Mm.
believe is the last fight you had.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he definitely come in with an aggressive style, which I
Hmm.
think is going to be similar to what Simon comes in with. So I think that that was great to show your composure. You really did stay composed in that fight, and it was great to see. I think you stopped him in the sixth, and it was great to actually see how good you done. And I mean, at the start he was coming in. I think he caught you with a few shots, which is what you wanted. And I know you said that in the post-fight interview ringside, just mentioning the fact that you needed someone to step it up a little bit to actually not
Mm.
shy away when they take the power. Um, do you think that Simon's actually going to struggle coming up from cruiserweight to fight someone as big as yourself? I think you normally come in at around 17 stone, don't you, or something around that.
Mm.
Do you think he's going to struggle with that, or do you think, you know, I know he's a tough guy, but it's different fighting someone who knows what they're doing at heavyweight to cruiserweight, I believe, anyway. What are your thoughts on that, mate?
I don't think he'll necessarily struggle or it'll be too much of a shock to him because don't get me wrong, although he's done obviously the majority of his career at cruiserweight, one he's quite a big cruiserweight anyway.
Yeah, he
Like
is
there was
big,
always
yeah.
rumors that he always struggled with the weight getting down to cruiserweight. So there's that, and he's been around for a long time, so he would have sparred and mixed around and been in gyms with a lot of heavyweights and stuff. So it's
Yeah.
not. I don't think it will be anything particularly. Just someone with pure size and stature in front of him. I don't think that will be what shocks him. No.
No, got you. And have you prepared in a particular way for someone like Simon? Have you got particular sparring partners in that you know are going to be beneficial to that aggressive style and nature?
Not so much. Not. We've not really been focusing on the sparring partners more so. What we've wanted from our sparring partners is to keep a high pace.
Yeah,
That's what we've wanted is to we've had multiple sparring partners is on the same day so they can swap in and out while I'm staying in and they're staying fresh so they can
yeah,
keep that pace on me. That's what we've been working towards is maintaining a very high pace that I'm conditioned for, that I'm ready for, that we'll bring into the fight.
yeah, definitely, mate. And I mean, I think in the previous interview you had with Eddie Hearn, he was mentioning the fact that this is a big springboard fight for both of you, really. I think
Mm.
Simon's 17 and 2. He's I think 34, 35 years of age. So this probably is his last real shot. So he's hoping that, you know, you springboard him into them bigger domestic fights, you know, where you guys are going to go up next. I suppose is down to Eddie Hearn and the other promoters. But if you had a chance to actually fight one heavyweight after this, have you got anyone in mind? Is that how you guys, do you have someone and do you talk to your coaches about who you actually want to fight next? Is there a big name that you'd actually want to fight next, or would you want to have a couple and then go into the huge fights from there?
No, there's never has been really. There's never been like one particular name or even people that I've been like, oh yeah, I really want to fight them or I'm after them, I'm hunting them because that's not the goal is to hunt names. The goal is to hunt belts. That's what I've always been after. So
Yeah,
when we're ready to move forward, when we're ready to go for whatever belt it is, whoever has it or wants to challenge for it, then that's cool. I don't care who that is. That's not a problem. But what I want is the belts. That's what I'm aiming for. That's what I'm going after, not people.
yeah. So I suppose working with Dylan White, you'll take the mentality of anyone can get it, which is obviously a good way to work, mate. Because in this boxing game, you will come up against people that, you know, people say, "Oh, it's a banana skin for you," and you know there will be people trying to test you, and
Mm.
you know there's people out there obviously on the opposite side that want you to come unstuck, but you just got to remain focused, like I'm sure you will be, mate. What would you, obviously knowing Dillian White on the more personal level, being a stablemate of his, do you think that he's more prepared than ever to take someone on like Povetkin?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. he's been in training for a long time. He's been out in Portugal in his camp that he's had to himself now for a long time. So he's settled in. He knows himself very well. He knows how to train. He knows how to prepare. He knows how to get ready, and he's always one to push himself to the absolute limits. There's no time where you see him like he's lagging behind or anything like that. So other than the fight he had in Saudi, because he took it on what 2-3 weeks maybe notice, something like that. But
yeah.
when he's fully prepared for a fight and he's had a full camp, he's a different animal. So it will be. Don't get me wrong. I think it will be a good fight because Povetkin's not known to shy away from any challenges, and as everyone knows, there was not at all either. So it will be a good come forward fight.
Absolutely, mate. It will certainly be the battle of the hooks, won't it? Which I think they're dubbing it. Whoever lands that big hook. I mean, I personally think Dillian's got what it takes to sort of get what he wants, which is the belts. I definitely have him up in the top three. Well, what would you say your top three is at the moment? Who would you have in the heavyweight division? Top three fighters.
I think you have to put obviously it's us. It's all the Brits. There's
Brits
no one
are
up there
doing
other
the
than
job at
us.
the moment, aren't they?
We're absolutely smashing the heavyweight division at the moment. Like we're in control of it. You have to put Fury at the top. You have to put Joshua behind him, and then you have to put Deal third. Like that's the line. No one else, I don't think, is in there or around, because like if you base it off just actual skills as well, people yeah, you'll put Wilder in there somewhere, but he was very proven to be a one-trick pony. Same with Ruiz. You can put him in there. He didn't really work his way up to that world title shot. It was gifted to him because of circumstance. And yeah, okay, granted, he took it first time around, but then second time around, he completely fell off and didn't know what to do. So you can't over time and just proving consistency and just having more than one attributes. I think they're the top three.
Without a doubt, and I think you hit the nail on the head there with Wilder, because don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Wilder isn't good. He's certainly got that knockout power, as he's proven time and time again. So that's why I think he's earned his place there. But then, exactly as you say, when you come up against someone like Fury, if you haven't got that pedigree, the movement, the full package, that's when you're going to come unstuck. And the thing is with someone like Wilder, which I think all boxers should have, is that complete belief in yourself. Even though he knows that if they do have the trilogy fight, even though he knows that Fury is a better boxer than him, he will still go in there thinking he can land that on his chin again and knock him out. So that's why it makes an exciting fight. And obviously we've got a great domestic group of heavyweight boxers at the moment. So it's very exciting at the moment to actually be involved. And you're obviously in the mix now. If you get that English title, which I'm sure you will, like Eddie Hearn said, I think you're just going to be springboarded through that division, and hopefully you get them big fights, mate, and we can support you on that. What I wanted to ask as well is, obviously you're going to be fighting in the Matchroom Square Garden, as Eddie Hearn's dubbed it. So how do you feel about actually not having that big crowd there? I know I've seen in previous fights, you've got like quite a big group of supporters that come down from Ipswich and, your friends from around the place.
Yeah.
How are you going to feel actually? I don't actually know how many people are actually going to be there. I'm sure there's going to be certain, people there, but not big groups of fans like you're used to. But then I also know that because it's early on in your career, you've kind of fought early on in the show. So I know you're used to that sort of environment.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Simon's maybe used to it a little bit, but not so used to it because he's obviously had the bigger fights as well in his career. How do you think that actually plays a part in your overall performance? Do you think you're going to be able to work without having the energy from the crowd, like I know a lot of fighters sort of really need?
Yeah, some fighters really that's a lot of their game, is to have that support there, to have them fans cheering you on and egging you through it and giving you that extra boost and helping you power through the fight. I see it more as a bonus than a need. Like having my supporters and fans there and stuff cheering my name is fantastic, but that's not I don't need that to get through my fights. Like I can do my fights perfectly fine without that. Like I've fought on shows where I've been first on, and sometimes even my own supporters haven't been able to get there in time and stuff. So I've done all that, like fighting in absolutely zero crowds near one where you can hear a pin drop. Like that's fine. I'm used to that. It's nothing too different for me. So, and I think any real boxer and any true fighter will tell you that as soon as you get in the ring, everything else disappears. Like once you're in there, all you're focused on is your opponent, and everything else just kind of goes silent anyways. So it's no, I don't think it'll be not for me anyways. It won't play too much of a factor. Of course, I'll miss it, especially for the after bit, like when the fight is over and I have the belt and stuff, and I want to like share that moment with my friends and family. That'll be the bit that I miss. But other than that, not for the actual fight. No.
You'll have to have a homecoming party, Fabio.
Yeah,
Will
definitely.
be the one.
There's one being set up.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. No, I think that's absolutely great. I think it's obviously going to be difficult for everyone. It will definitely be a new environment. But as you say, if you're used to the small hall shows and the fights early on at this stage in your career, you know, it's just another one of those. And then hopefully everything's sorted regarding COVID-19. Moving forward, the next fight you have, you know, whether or not it's a title defense or it's a fight for a British title, you know, it's going to be a huge one for you. So I'm excited to see that, mate. Definitely. On a lighter note, I know in previous fights, and I think you said this in a post-fight interview, you tend to mention something in the corner with your head coach that's something completely irrelevant to the boxing match. I think before it was, can we go and grab a burger after, which cracked me up. Is there, do you actually just say them spontaneously, or do you have something planned to try and lighten the mood?
No, it's funny. Like, it's something that I've always done throughout, like, just my whole boxing career. It's how we base our whole camp and our whole training. Is you have to mix the fun of, like, we do it not to get lost in the moment. Like, these nights and those nights and things can be massive, and they're big, and they're a lot of pressure, and like, it can take a lot out of you, and you can get yourself all worked up, like my corner and me and everything. Everyone can get all really like excited and anxious for it. But you have to do these things that bring you back down to like the level, really bring you back down to earth, and just be like, nah, hang on, although we're here to do a job, and that we are also here to like have fun. Like, this is, if you like, in 10-20 years when we look back on it, it'll be fun memories. It'll be a great time in life. You won't think about all the pressure and everything that's on it. So you want to try and take that from the moment as well, and try and take that enjoyment and not get completely lost in all of the lights and the pressure of it. That's what that's there for, really. And it's just like, I do it in sparring and stuff. Like, my corner will give me some water, and I'll spit a bit over their top or something like that, just little stupid things, just to keep everyone like in good spirits and happy and laughing and joking and not getting everything lost away. But yeah, that was funny that time, because I think that was the first time I had a fight, and they put a mic in the corner, so I didn't even realize, like. And then after I did it, my coach was like, "There's a mic there, like, you idiot! Like, they're gonna think you're stupid now."
No, I think
but it's just something we've always done. Like, I'll go back to the corner, and they'll ask if, like, how I'm feeling and that, and I'll say, "Yeah, I'm fine." And I'll ask them if they want to sit down on the seat, if they need a rest, if they're tired. Like, just stupid things to keep everyone just like in good spirits, and just in a laugh, and just not getting too carried away with the situation.
No, I think it's brilliant, mate. I think it's important to do things like that, because I know, you know, it can get very anxious, and obviously nerves and stuff. Although you guys are very good the professionals are very good at channeling that to actually becoming a weapon of yours. I think lastly, what I'd like to ask is actually what's your prediction on your upcoming fight on August 1st against Simon Vallily? What do you think's going to actually go down? Have you got something in mind, or are you looking to get the rounds in and you actually want to have a real test and go the full distance?
I want a nice mix of both. I think Simon will be good and come firing for probably a max of about 4 rounds.
Yeah.
Then the pace will set in him. Like, the pace I'm looking to set will be too much for him, and it'll be too fast paced, and he'll really lag behind. And then I'll really start to show my skills and show what I've got, and pick and move and really kind of pick him apart. And then I'll finish strong, probably 6 to 8 rounds, something like that, and get him out, and then hold my belt up high and celebrate and chill in Eddie's garden for a bit.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Well, we're rooting for you here at Heavyweight News, and just got to thank you for coming on and speaking to us. It's been a pleasure. And
no worries.
Sure you're going to be victorious, mate. And yeah, we can't wait to write about it after.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
No worries, Fabio. Take care, buddy.
Cheers, Alfie. Catch you soon, mate. Bye-bye.